Okay, that's the last Pokemon sculpted. Now to upload them all and see what the world thinks. Here are my latest Pokemon sculpts. I've spent many months on them and I love them all like they are my children. Please bathe me in your adoration and praise. And smiley face, post. Oh look, there's already a comment. Aw, that person really likes my oddish. Ooh, and that person's favourite is Charmeleon. Oh, they don't like Wartortle. Oh, but Metapod is getting a surprising amount of love. Oh, and that person doesn't like Wartortle either. Or that one. Or them. Oh. Oh no. I spent 2 months working on that Wartortle. And they hated it. Sometimes you'll spend months working on a piece, pouring your heart and soul into something, only to find that people really don't appreciate your efforts. If you've been making art for long enough, and in particular if you decide to tackle a very beloved character, you're going to have to accept that at some point you're going to disappoint someone. The fact of the matter is that some people just won't appreciate your particular style or your take on a character, and all of that is okay. But how do you tell the difference between someone who simply doesn't like what you've done and genuine criticism where your work does actually need improvement? I've been wanting to do a video for a long time on how to both give and receive good critiques, because there is an art to being able to give good feedback. And now I have an absolutely perfect case study we can use because, damn, did they hate Wartortle. So, let's take a look at some of these comments. We'll start at the bottom of the barrel with the least useful comments and how you can deal with them, and work our way up to the most useful comments and how you can interact with these people to figure out how best to improve your work. Thanks. I hate it. Getting comments like this probably isn't going to make you feel good, but remember what we're trying to do here is improve our work, and sometimes that's not going to feel good. Now, the fact that this person doesn't like your work, that's okay. That isn't what makes this a bad critique. What makes this a bad critique is, well, it's not really a critique, is it? It's just an opinion. It's even expressed as an opinion. I hate it. Now, everybody has an opinion and everybody is entitled to theirs, but opinions are also cheap and easy. Being able to give a detailed critique and talk about light and color and composition takes time and expertise. It takes literally zero effort to have an opinion. So this individual doesn't like my particular style. That's fine. There's tons of Pokemon art out there, and if they don't like my version, there's going to be another version that they can enjoy. Comments like this can, for the most part, be ignored. There's no additional information here for us to be able to improve our art. So let's move on to the next one. Charmeleon looks amazing. At first glance, this might seem like it's a great comment, and don't get me wrong, it's certainly happier than the previous one, but don't be fooled. This is essentially the same comment, just with a positive spin. This commenter hasn't expressed why they like the work, which sadly means that, just like the last one, there's not a lot that we can learn here. Yes, they like our work, and that is nice, but in terms of improving our art, or even being able to reproduce this success, this comment is just as helpful as the previous one. Wartortle ugly. Everything looks decent minus Meth Turtle. That Wartortle is disturbing. Wartortle looks like he's seen some shit. I love it. Now, individually, these comments mostly seem negative, and you might be tempted to lump them into the opinion category, but collectively, they do start to tell a story. These people think that Wartortle is ugly, disturbing, like he's on drugs, and my personal favourite, like he's seen some shit. Although these comments don't explicitly tell us what's wrong, we're starting to get hints in the right directions. All of these comments are very human, like only humans do drugs, and seen some shit is a very human reaction. So although these comments don't explicitly tell us what's wrong, we're starting to get a picture of what might still need some work. That Charmeleon is sick, but don't feed the Wartortle after midnight. I mean, why Wartortle look like a gremlin though? These comments are pretty similar to the last batch in that they express a problem but don't necessarily tell us exactly what that problem is. But it is interesting that multiple people have made reference to the Gremlins movies. Perhaps Wartortle is looking too much like a gremlin, more so than too human. Badass! Make me a Charizard! Now, this has the potential to be a really great kind of comment. Again, the fact that this person likes the artwork, that's not what makes it a great comment. It's because they've specifically requested more. Now, this might just be somebody who's hoping that you'll make their favorite character. Or maybe it's someone who'd be willing to pay for such a service. You'd obviously have to do a little bit more digging to find out if they'd be willing to lay down some cold hard cash. But these kind of comments suggest that you might have just stumbled upon a goldmine. If you need an actor or voiceover, let me know. This is also a great comment. It's one thing to have an audience who appreciates your work, but it's a whole other thing if your audience is invested in your work to the point where they want to make it their own. Now, whether or not you want help is an entirely different issue. Sometimes bringing people on board can actually be detrimental to a project. Sometimes they can help fill a gap in your knowledge, and that can make a project better. So whether or not you want to bring on these people, that's a personal decision and could frankly be a discussion for a whole other video. The takeaway point here is that there's a handful of people that are invested enough in your work that they want to be involved, and that is a really good sign. Wartortle's face looks a little too human. Besides that, the rest look awesome. Kinda looks oddly human, like a weird caricature of someone, the eyes or chin maybe. Metapod and Charmeleon are hits. Wartortle is perfect, except he needs more of a chin or something. These are sick. I would say that the face of Wartortle needs a little tweak, looking a little too much like Jabba the Hutt. Now these comments are awesome. They suggest a problem, they're quite direct about what they think that problem is, and they even go as far to give suggestions as to what they think could be improved. They're also quite complimentary of the things that they do like, which softens the blow of a critique sometimes. And as an added bonus, they're all basically saying the same thing, which suggests that this isn't just one person's opinion. It might be something that's actually wrong with the design. If you're going to critique somebody else's work, this is how I would suggest doing it. Say what you think is wrong, be direct about it, try and offer a solution if you can, and either start or end with something positive. Now, some of the previous comments have been helpful, but if I was planning on updating Wartortle's design, these are the comments that I would be using. So, based on all of this feedback, it's become apparent that this isn't just a small minority's opinion. There is actually still some work to do, and I must confess I've never been entirely happy with Wartortle's designs. I am trying to put together a short film as a solo artist, and there is just a ton of work to do. I'd put Wartortle into the close enough category, and I'd moved on with other things. But Wartortle is one of the main characters, and I think it's important that we do justice to his design. So let's jump back into Blender and see what we can do about fixing this. Alright, we have a new Wartortle design, and after the last barrage of comments, it's a little daunting to share him again. But there is no point in putting in all of that work and not finding out. So, here we go again.